Hey everyone, it's Matt from the Hold My Spot podcast. Seeing as I have a 2-hour drive home from Columbus after seeing the starting line, I thought I would use this time wisely to tell you about the show I just went to previously before the starting line, because that was an interesting one. I guess it was Wednesday, so 2 days ago, went to the Agora in Cleveland, Ohio. Legendary Agora, awesome venue, huge theater, newly refinished, beautiful place. So I was there on Wednesday with another friend, and I was there to see Baby Metal. Baby Metal, probably not a band you would peg me to be interested in. However, their melodies are huge. They've got great hooks. They really draw you in. And then it's just a really cool stage presence too. There's 3 female singers on the stage, and they're choreographed. And then behind them, they have a metal band shredding. So you have this really cool dichotomy of metal and some, real metal type lyrics, and then you have sort of like Asian pop vocals and really good choreography playing in front of that. So it's really this cool intermingling of sort of 2 genres, and they do it really well. They're a band I never really thought I would see. I know I say that a lot. They're from Asia, so they don't tour the U.S. too often. So it was one of those shows where the day of, I didn't have my tickets yet, and tickets were pretty expensive, but it kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and I'm talking to my friend, and we're like, all right, let's take one more look, and let's see if the ticket prices came down. And literally 5 minutes before they're going to stop selling tickets, the tickets were half the price on the resale market. So we're like, all right, let's do it. So we bought the tickets, raced downtown. I live in the suburbs, so it was like a good 30 minutes to get down there. And still made it probably about 10 minutes before the Baby Metal went on, and got a seat up on top of the balcony, and it was a pretty good view. It's kind of disappointing because the ushers were standing at the rail right before kind of drops off, so they're standing right in front of the band, and you can't see through them, obviously. So my friend and I are like, all right, let's head down to the floor. Maybe we can find a spot. Got down there. There were no spots. We got turned away from a couple parts of the floor. So I'm standing at the back by the bar, literally as far back as you can go. I can barely see. The band is that big on the stage, and there's a literal 7-foot giant standing in front of me. Now, like I've said before, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'2" in shoes. And I can normally see over pretty much everybody, but not this guy. And I've had this theory for a while that no matter how tall I am, 6'2", there will always be somebody taller than me at a show right in front of me. And it rings true probably about 85-90% of the time. And tonight was no exception. That night, Wednesday, was no exception. So eventually he did sit down, sort of, or left, I'm not sure. And then I was able to see the band playing from they were this tall, from all the way in the back. But they sounded great. Really happy I got to see them. It was a lot of fun. Metal's not really my genre, but every now and then I find a band in a genre that I kind of connect with and have a good time. So Baby Metal, definitely good. I don't believe they had an opener before them. There was a co-headlining act, Death Clock or something like that. I didn't stay because I listened to them on Spotify beforehand, and I I knew that just wasn't something that I was that in tune with. I'm sure they're very good if you like that sort of that metal genre, but they just weren't for me. So I took off, had a good time after the show, was able to hang out with my buddy and talk about a couple upcoming shows we're thinking about going to. So cool show, costume changes, sort of Asian pop over metal, just a lot of fun. If you can get a good price ticket, go see them. Yeah, highly recommend again. I know I don't say a lot of bad things about a lot of bands, but I like to characterize bands on their own merit. I don't like to compare like, Matt, he likes pop punk and emo, so he's definitely gonna hate on a metal band or a folk band or who knows what. But I like a little bit of everything, and I like when bands do it well. So try to be pretty open, pretty fair, and open-minded to any genre. So with that being said, Baby Metal, good band. Glad I got to see them. I'll post a couple videos on our Instagram page, even though the band will be probably really out of focus and pretty small in the video because I was so far back. But I learned my lesson. If you want a good price ticket, maybe you have to wait until right before the show. But if you want a good seat, you have to get your ticket earlier and get there on time or early. So you have to kind of weigh things out. One other thing I just noticed today, and I won't drag this out, but tonight I saw the starting line, and you'll see that in another episode down in Columbus. And I was watching their tickets, and they were very fair price tickets. They were like $27.50 plus then all the fees, which then is another $27.50 because you have to pay our Ticketmaster oligarch overlords. So very fair price. But I did notice that when I checked today to buy that ticket prices went up $5, and it was a day of show ticket charge. So nothing bad about the starting line. I'm sure it's well outside of their control, and they seem like good dudes, and are there for the fans. But it's just interesting to see $5 day of show charge on top of the ticket price, and then it was like another $20 in fees total. So whatever, not a big deal. It's $5. I wish it was going to the band. I hope it's going to the band. It probably isn't going to the band. It's probably going to the CEO of Live Nation or Ticketmaster. What are you going to do? There's not a lot of other options out there. But anyway, just another thing to kind of keep in mind. And that was a box office ticket. So that fee isn't on resale tickets, but there were some tickets left over at the box office. So maybe that's just a Ticketmaster thing when you buy day of show at the box office. So something to keep in mind. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Hold My Spot podcast. I'm Matt, and the next shows you'll see me at are Census Fail, Death Cab for Cutie / Postal Service, which I'm super excited about. And then Emo Orchestra, that'll be in Akron, Canton, end of the month. And then the When We Were Young Festival in Las Vegas, end of October. And I think there's a couple other ones somewhere in there. So keep your eyes peeled for a couple new episodes. Thanks for watching, and I will be sure to hold a spot for you at the next show.